Hello. Hello. Are you ready? Because I know I am. I've been needing a little bit more time because I've been working on something. But I'll guess you'll see it later. All right, let's get this started, baby. Let's get this started. All right, 3, 2, 1, let's go! Oh, that was quick. Let's do that again. There you go. Now we got it. Hello, hello, hello. Hello! How are you, everyone? Thank you so much for being super patient with me. How are you all?
I see you.
Exactly. You see me? It's important for me. It's important for me to be able to see. Oh my fucking god, Artemis! Artemis, Jesus Christ! Do I need to put a countdown on this one? How dare you? How dare you? Get fucked, Noom. I mean, of course it had to happen. That was loud. Of course it's loud. I mean, what do you think? It's a jump scare. It's a jump scare. But today, you're not the only one who gets to scare me. Today, I have to say, I'll also be the one. I'll be able to creep you out too. And it's gonna be amazing. I am so hyped for this. I've been working on some serious effects, let's just call it that, to creep you guys out for good, though. So if y'all are ready, it's gonna be pretty crazy. I can't wait to creep you guys out. I can't wait to have you sitting on the edge of your seat. And I can't wait to have you turning around and trying to look behind you if somebody's really there. So today we're gonna have some scary stories. But before we go and do that, please sit down, make yourself comfortable, get yourself some tea, get yourself something nice to eat, some popcorn if you will, because today it's only scary story, baby. Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. But by the way, how are you all as well? Good thing I came in after that went up. Ghost, welcome in. But I mean, water is a maze. That's true. That is true. Water is key. And I've got plenty of them because I'm going to do plenty of reading today. Woo! Zerk is naturally creepy? What do you mean? What do you mean I'm naturally creepy? Come on. Set up one end streamer early is not added. Yeah, because today is a special stream. Today is a special spooky streams. Are you guys ready for Halloween? What do you guys have planned for Halloween, though? I want to know. To lay the pattern room corners too safe to look back at. Oh, God. 31st, Halloween, Hallows Eve. To be honest, for me, it's just an excuse to party. But I feel like this year I want to make something a little bit creepier. A little bit more around the creepy vibes. I have nothing planned. That's okay, too. Don't always need to have plans. Don't celebrate Halloween here. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Oh, I swear, I've prepped so many fun things for y'all today. And I'm going to do everything I can to try my best to spook you out. I'm ready to be spooky. I am ready to be the spooky. Are you guys ready? Do you think I'm scary? You think I'm scary? 'Cause I think I'm pretty scary. Look at that, huh? Isn't that the creepiest thing you've ever seen? Right? Creepy, right? Spookiest cat ever. I'm not a cat. I'm a raccoon. I'm better than a cat. I'm better than a cat because a cat will always have a master. And you know what I am? I am free. I'm free. Sexy Scary would head pat. I'd head pat you. Mm-hmm. Nope, Sirach is not intimidating when she horrors. What? I will prove you different. Fancy meeting you in the middle of the night again. Yeah, fancy meeting you guys in the middle of the woods. You know, it's funny we have a small crowd just ready to, you know, kidnap or eat or, you know, make candy out of, you know. I mean, that's what happens in the wood on Halloween, does it not? Wait, is it not what happens on Halloween in the night? Ooh. Come to NC and head pat me. What if I'm in your walls? What if I'm already in your walls and you don't know about it yet? Ooh. Let's go. Head pats. Nah, head pats for you. So, I have to say today I have quite the lineup for y'all. Ooh. You want to know why I don't celebrate Halloween? Because all candy has traces of tree nuts. I'm allergic to those. Always a big fuck you to me personally. It's fine. There's other ways you can, you know, celebrate. You can stick with us and play the creepy. And be creeped out. Because that's my goal today. My goal is to make you not sleep today. I'm evil. The only scary thing is the raccoon gods who watch us fail the same task repeatedly despite throwing a plan at words that help at us. What? What, Toldy? By the way, Toldy, I did see that. GG for the first. I see ya. I see you. Hurry in my walls. They are concrete. I mean, there is always a crack in your walls. You just never know where it is. Sonic City American OST busting? Yeah. I mean, hey, Sonic EXE, kind of a vibe. Kind of a scary vibe. I mean, it's already a boss, but like it's been used for Sonic EXE, so I put it up there. By the way, Melanie, how are you? I'm glad you could pop in for this spooky, scary session. Yes, there's a crack in my walls. Wait, no, there is crack in your walls. Huh? Wait a minute. Huh? What do you mean there's crack in your walls? What do you mean? Oh, God, what have I done? What have I done? Ooh, a one woman means what I want to be. A one woman's man's what I want to be. Exactly. Crack, not rugs. Cracks, crack. Of course. Doing amazing. Ooh, I'm going to start doodling a bit and needed some background sound. Saw you on Melanie. If you're not ready to get creeped out, then you should probably maybe get a blanket. Maybe get a little plushie nearby you just to make sure that you don't shit yourself. Because you're going to be so scared it might happen. It might happen. So today I will have to say, though, farming channel, but yeah, do it. Listen to creepypastas and Mr. Nightmare videos every night. I am prepared to shit myself. Oh, let's go. I hope you are, because we've got some special stuff ready for y'all. Too cute for scares? Is that what you're thinking? Is that for real what you're thinking? I think you guys might be in, maybe for something slightly different. Sorry, happy Halloween. Happy Halloween, first of all, for everybody. And before we start, and before we get on this thing, just want to make sure that everybody knows we're going to be talking about some gruesome stories. The horror, the abuse, the scary. What runs inside your veins? What runs inside your chairs? What runs inside your husband's head? Your house rules, your family, your sugar daddy isn't even safe. And I'm not kidding when I'm saying that. You know, we're going to talk about your family member. We're going to talk about things that surround you and you only. I don't think y'all are ready for what I have in store for you. But I will let y'all decide for yourselves what you think is scary and what you think isn't. Because to be honest, why should I be the judge of that? I think I'm going to let the stories do their work. The roles of nature versus nature is an ongoing debate in the psychological field. But one's preference for taking an elevator over an escalator is surely a different upbringing. Son, what the hell? It's funny. I mean, obviously. I'm an electrician. Try me, because I've seen and touched some things. I mean, hey, I'm sure you probably did and went out and made some shocking discoveries. So, let's get this started. Before though, I have to say, we are going to talk about some pretty gruesome things. So, let me just put that out there before we do anything, all right?
Warning, some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
So are y'all ready for a suspenseful evening filled with the scariest thing you couldn't even think about? All right, I've got you ready. I've got y'all ready. So, bitches and bros and non-binary hoes, welcome to a horror stream. So we've got our first story. Let me just get real cozy and start reading. Hello. What you're about to listen to will shock you. I need to confess the strange, the super strange and terrible crimes I've committed. I cannot bear to keep my secret from you any longer. I beg you to not stop listening. You see, for years I have hidden myself away from the world, for I am hideously ugly. Too ugly to even describe. You would be shocked and even horrified at the sight of my face. I was a miserable and a wretched creature because I never knew what love was. I never was able to feel the passion of a kiss, the affectionate touch of a hand, or the warmth of another body against me. I was a carpenter by trade, worked in a factory all day making furniture. My specialty was making chairs. My skilled hands carved the beautiful wood and made the chair of a beauty. While I was working, I would feel like an artist putting together a beautiful masterpiece. When I would finish my chairs, I would test them. To make sure they were perfect for my customers. It gave me a thrill to imagine all the different people sitting in the chair I created. They all lived wonderful, happy lives, unlike me. They had someone to love them, while they lived their happy lives. I lived mine with misery and despair. One day, as I began creating a new chair, the strangest idea began to form my mind. I changed the design and created it to where the inside was hollowed out, making it big enough to fit a human body. Of course, I had to adjust the framework of the chair before it was finally able to work. The knees would rest below the seat, while the head and upper body would lay behind the headrest. Someone could sit inside there, and nobody would even realize where they were. I left a small space for supplies, even made a little toilet for me to use the bathroom. By the time the chair was completely constructed, the inside had become a little miniature home. I stripped off my clothes and climbed inside the chair. Can you imagine how strange that felt? It was a tight fit, but I managed to get used to it after a while. I was in complete darkness, but I was able to hear what was happening in my surroundings. My coworkers were looking for me, but little did they know, I was right under their noses. After a while, the delivery man loaded me into a truck and drove me to a furniture store. He put me on display in the middle of the shop floor and left me there. I was perfectly concealed, and nobody was any the wiser. I was almost like a crab or even a turtle, although I did not have a shell. I had my chair. Almost as soon as I arrived, several customers tested out the chair. I can't tell you how many bottoms sat on my chair. I had bottoms that were big and fat, like jellyfish, and others whose were hard and bony, like a skeleton. I had small bottoms, chubby bottoms, even firm bottoms, farting on my chair. I could not believe people would just fart on me like that. It was an amazing feeling. I could feel the warmth of their flesh through the material. Their shoulders rested on my chest and their arms and heads rested on mine. None of them suspected that beneath the soft cushion sat little old me. Previously, because of my horrifying and disturbing appearance, people had always recoiled at the sight of me. But now, my skin was virtually touching theirs through a thin layer of cloth. Hidden inside the chair, I imagined myself embracing them in hugs, kissing them, and wrapping my arms around them. Of course, it was a strange sort of existence. After spending so long sitting inside the chair in the same position, my muscles began to wither away. I could barely move. My body was crooked and bent. I didn't care, only because I loved the exquisite feel of having people sit on me. One day, someone brought the chair. Someone bought it. The delivery man picked me up, loaded me in the van, and delivered me to a home with a nice family. They put me in the living room, facing the TV. Within days, every family member had sat on me at least once. I was in heaven. But there was one family member I loved more than all the rest. This person was very, very special to me. And as time grew on, I began to fall in love with this person. I just couldn't help it. Whenever they sat on me, I tried to make my knees as comfortable as possible for them. Whenever they leaned back, I embraced them more warmly to make them nice and snug. And when they were tired, I would gently rock my knees back and forth, making them drift to sleep. You may think I was mad, but I was madly in love with this person. I soon became obsessed with them and wished they could return feelings back to me. They reached the point that only if they knew I was there, they would fall in love with me too. That person loved to read. That person loved to listen to streams. So I posted my own story to them on a website they frequently visited. By now, you might know who I'm talking to. That's right. It's you. I've been in your home for so long. You've probably forgotten where I came from. Every night, I crawl out of the chair, sneak in your room to watch you sleep. I can't bear to be away from you for a moment. I love you, and I think you could love me too. If only you saw me. Now, after you finish listening to this, turn around and look at me. I'll be waiting. Come sit on my knees. Lay your head against my chest. Don't be afraid. I miss your touch. Come and get closer. I miss you. Did that, guys, give you some chills a little bit? Did that chill you out just a little? Sirach being our chair and supporting our bottoms. Why do you take this creepy ass story and make it not creepy? Curse James, I swear. How did they stay alive for so long? They've said it earlier. They made a little cozy supply, just to make sure that they had enough. That just turned on. What? What do you mean? What? Sit on your chair, baby. Whoa. I've read creepypastas and no sleep stories on Reddit. Ooh. Damn. I was born for horror stories. Well, you may recognize a couple of them then. Because there's more where that came from. I have to say, not the only one I have. Not the only one I'll have. So, keep being here, because there's more coming. You guys ready for the other one? Because I am. Oh, ads? Yeah. Let me just wait then. We can wait it out for people that have the ads. To be honest, I'm really liking this creepy environment. I decided to start in with the one that was kind of tame. But there's more. There's more coming. Oh, looks like ad jail. Yeah, that's right, Strat. Welcome in, welcome in. Hope you'll be liking your stay. Because today, definitely on that creepy horror story stuff. I hope you like it. So be ready to get creeped out. Because I'm not going anywhere for now. And yes, jail. What do you mean jail? You'll be fine, but will you? I don't know. I don't know if I'll be fine. Those creep me out, man. Those absolutely creep me out. Those absolutely creep me out. Ooh, all right. Now, let's come back to the next one. Is the ad jail over? Ad's over, let's go. Thank you, Strat, I appreciate ya. Welcome to the other story. The other story is called Run. Run. And if you can't run, then walk. And if you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, don't stop. Don't stop at all. You can't stop. It's been only an hour since everyone on Earth, as far as I could tell, heard those same words. I was already walking through the park when I heard them. And seeing that, and seeing after what happens, I won't be stopping anytime soon. It's been 2 hours now. I've kept walking. I'm tired, but stopping is not an option. Some people tried driving, but the act of getting in a car requires stopping, even for the briefest moments. And as those already driving, they heard the rules soon found out. It's impossible to move indefinitely with a vehicle, especially in a crowded city. Their screams keep me moving. It's been 4 hours now, and I'm exhausted. With only one thing pushing me forward, being the fear of what awaits when I stop. And yes, I mean when. Proven by plenty of those around me, I eventually will have to stop. Some have just given up, accepting their fate, only to immediately regret their decision. Some just can't take the screams anymore, and most simply don't see the point of continuing. And with every step, I'm starting to become more like the latter. Been about 6 hours, and for the first time, I saw what happened up close. I was walking aimlessly down an alley, trying to get away from the madness, when I saw a young man, no more than 16, crying. Didn't even register at first to me until he made eye contact with me. He had stopped moving. His eyes bloodshot. And not just whites around his pupils. I mean, the entirety of his eyes were crimson red. Black tears streamed down his expressionless face. And when he smiled, a white, beauty smile that would have screamed of joy if it wasn't followed by an animalistic scream that would have given the biggest horror fanatic nightmares. I wish I could say witnessing his dying moments was the most horrific thing to happen to me today. But then it hit me. The realization that I'd stopped moving. He died. He died! Are you creeped out yet? Ooh. What if I frolic or maybe skip instead? Ooh, they ain't gonna get me down. I feel like if you have to constantly move, like all the time, back to back, like never having to stop, you can't. Unless you're like in an airplane that goes around the world, but eventually you'll run out of fuel, you know? But there's more where that comes from. I'm gonna be all honest with you. I'm going in tame on y'all. For now. A sailboat? True, but to be able to get on the sailboat, you would have to stop moving eventually just to get on it. Go full thrust. Imagine. Tame on us or yourself? On you. I mean, hey, there's more coming. You guys ready for the next story? This next one is another one I found that, oof, gave me some chills too. I hope maybe you'll find that giving you chills is exactly what it's gonna do. So, let's get into it. Let's get into this. I'll have to say, the last one will make you think twice before you go and buy anything online. Exactly. The next one is called I Should Have Read the Reviews. My girlfriend moved out 3 weeks ago. My cat, Rook, was really close to her, and now that she's gone, I can tell he's a bit lonely, especially when I'm at work. I came home a few times to my curtains ripped up or all the toilet paper shreds. The last straw was when I came home after working late to find that he had clawed a hole inside of a dinner plate into the side of the sofa. I decided I had to do something. I tried different toys, even catnip, but nothing worked. One night, after browsing Amazon, I saw a pet camera. Oh, the pet camera, which is where I see Alpha Doggy being here for 9 months. Thank you. I appreciate the 9 months. You got a Twitch baby now. I decided I had to do something. I tried different toys, even catnip, and nothing worked. One night, while browsing Amazon, I saw a pet camera. It's a tiny camera that records your pet on a live feed so you can monitor their behavior while you're away. It even has an audio function that you can talk to them. Yeah. If catnip doesn't work, I don't know what will. Sounded silly, but hey. I love my furry dude, so I bought it. I got overnight shipping and installed it immediately. I decided to set it up in my bedroom, as that where was Ruck dwelled the most.
I see.
My first day at work, I think I checked my camera 30 times. When I spoke into the microphone, Ruck seemed to be happier, and I noticed there was no distraction around the house either. By day 4, I figured I'd solved the problem with Ruck. That leads me to right now. About 30 minutes ago, I climbed the bed with Ruck, ready to close my eyes, when my phone buzzed, a notification from the pet cam. I almost ignored it. I'm sure it just triggered the thing, but I opened it anyway. What I saw made my grip tighten on the phone. Instead of a video of myself, I saw a man. A tall man. A tall man. Gangly, with pale skin. Large eyes. He was moving into my room with exaggerated steps. Like a sneaky cartoon character. He got right up to the lens. So close I could almost smell his rotten breath. And he smiled. I immediately paused the video, terrified. I looked up at the spot where the man should have been standing. There was no one in there. I went onto Amazon and found out the pet cam, and read the reviews, hoping for some weird glitch. Had to be a joke, right? Right? The first dozen reviews were pretty standard, but it was the last that caused me to bolt upright. The customer complained that the camera was on time delay, sometimes as much as 15 minutes. I went back to the video and pressed play with my shaky fingers. I watched in horror as the man slithered under my bed, giving the camera a wink before disappearing in the darkness. Then I saw myself enter the room and climbed in bed before the video ended. Now I'm sitting in my bed, knowing he's under it. I could call the police, but I doubt I'd have time. So please, do yourself a favor and read the reviews. What if I was under your bed? Would you be scared? Would you be scared? What if I come real close to you? Real close, and I just look at you with that smile of mine. Would you be scared? Yeah, my special scary face. You like it? Is it Will from Foster's Home from Imaginary Friends under the bed? Imagine. I would be scared for you. I just whack things under your bed. I'm so scared of what could be under my bed. I don't even have it under my bed. It's just wood. That's what's under it. That's the only thing that's under it. Nothing more, nothing less. Nah, man, being 31 and being scared from those monsters. Yeah, well, there's no age to be scared of stuff, you know? My dog would crawl under the bed with you. Yeah, Buffy. Okay, less scary though. Great, dude. Ooh. Welcome back. Welcome back, Chris James. Chris James 74. So now it's time for another one. You guys ready for the other story I have for you? This one is a little bit shorter. A little bit shorter, though, I have to say. So, be ready. Be ready. Ready all the time, baby. Let's go. So, the next one is called I Know When My Husband Is Cheating on Me. I know when my husband is cheating on me. It's funny. It's something like 60% of marriage end in infidelity, but you never think it'll be yours. There are so many articles on it too. How to tell, what signs to watch for. Is he spending too much time at the office or just working hard? Crappy episodes on daytime TV, some silly girl sobbing, and it's all revealed. These articles, shows, drama, they're for weaker women. I knew the moment my husband didn't love me anymore. Alpha, it's gonna be a 6 for me. Oh, I'll start small. He'll smile more, for no reason. He'll laugh at little things she says or does. Things that he would never in a million years have found funny if he said them. And it'll only get worse. His face will light up with the sun when he sees her. And he will see her. He can't stop it. She's everywhere in his light, invasive, like a cancer or a leech, sucking all of his attention and love away from you. And then, even worse, his friends, your friends, will notice. They'll tell you they've never seen him happy before like this. How happy he is. It's enough to make you sick. And finally, I'll tell you. He'll tell you he's never felt love like this before. That he doesn't know how he lived without her. Well, something had to be done. Obviously. I love my husband. I'm not having some little temptress steal him away from me. What kind of woman would I be then? So no, I took matters into my own hands. Thank God, she's still little. I don't think I could have drowned her that easily if she could walk just yet. She killed the baby! That's just messed up. It is messed up. Chris, you're not supposed to laugh. That's not a funny story. Stop it. What is this? So yeah, Alpha, why'd you want me to pick a number? I picked 6. Pick 6. Get that smiled looking grin out of here. Wait, which one? Which one? That one? This one? Don't you guys like it when I do this? Aren't you happy I'm here? Aren't you happy you're here? Don't you? Don't you love how I sound like? Don't you love that smile? You better work, bitch. Poo, 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 poo. Yep, that's a Smile Dog G-Bag or something. Yeah. Smile Dog G-Bag, though. What the hell? That was, I've seen picture of that recently. Creep me right the fuck out, though, I have to say. Cute smile! Huh? Wait, why do you mean cute smile? That's not a cute smile. Love that smile. A little bit of brushing and you'll be fine. Yeah. Jeff the Killer traumatized me. Oof. Jeff the Killer. I mean, hey, me and Jeff the Killer, we kind of have matching smiles now. Imagine. Who's there? Is it the jealous lady that killed her child? Is it the man hiding under your bed? Or is it the chair? The man chair that's in your house that knows where you live? Oh my God. Knock, knock, knock. People still don't know where Jeff the Killer, where Jeff the Killer image comes from. Oh, somebody uploaded up. Somebody random uploaded it on there. Nobody knows where anybody uploads things first anymore. It's just how it is now. Kind of stuff we do. Are you guys ready for another one? Are y'all ready for another one? This one is also a short one. Really, really short stories. Let's track to some old Japanese video and old old forums. All right. This new one is called My House Rules. I have to say, though, I did it once, I will do it again. If you just popped in here, please know.
Warning, some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
So please, if you guys don't like horror stories or you don't want to get traumatized, well, you better get out of here. But if you're brave enough to stick it to the end, I've got more chilling stories for you. I've got all of the chilling stories for you. Super chilly. See? Am I not terrifying? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. How about this? Now am I scary? Now do I scare you? Do I scare you now? Oh, imagine. All right, okay, that's enough. Oh, yeah, the cat paw convinced me. I'm terrified. I'm not a cat! Oh, damn. What up, Platinum? Platinum looking at the screen once more. Nothing can shock and scare me after watching Sleepy Hollow. Oh, true. True. Do it. Do it. All right. Oh, we'll do it then. Cats for the win. I'm a raccoon. I'm not a cat. Now, will you say you're not a German? Well, now you will say you're not German either. Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean, Strat? What do you mean? I mean, shoot me. I'm not shooting y'all. Nuh-uh. You guys need to stay alive for the other horror stories. Let's get this started. This next story is called My House Rules. My house rules. Number 1, always take off your shoes when you come in. They don't like dirt. Always say hello. Number 2. Number 3, when you enter the house, go straight to your room. Number 4, lock your door. Number 5, if you leave your room, go straight to where you need to go. Do not stop walking. Number 6, walk with your head up. Number 7, never block your vision. Number 8, if you hear laughing, ignore it. It isn't there. Number 9, if you turn on a light, do not turn it back off. They will take care of it. Number 10, do not turn off the music. One guest in particular doesn't like the quiet. Number 11, do not look into the empty room. Number 12, when you get back to your room, lock the door again immediately. Number 13, get your feet off the floor as fast as possible. Number 15, if the sun is down, never look out your bedroom window. Number 16, don't check the closets, under the bed, or the showers. They like privacy. Number 17, at 3 a.m. things will start to happen. Do not answer your door. You will hear tapping on your window. When you do close your eyes, do not open them again. Number 18, make sure you go to sleep by 3:12 a.m. Number 19, don't forget, you live alone. The monster will crawl for you. The scary, spooky house rules, baby. Would you enter that house? Scary story time. Love it. Well, we gotta. It's Halloween. We can just play scary games and call it a day. Fun fact, all the rules are written on the roll of toilet paper. That's right. If you wipe your ass with it, you'll never know what to do next. Oh, the scary wipe when you wipe and it's... All right, okay, I'm stopping. Do you think this one was scarier than the next one? Well, than the other one before? I gotta say, those are scarier. Those are scarier and scarier as they go. Reminded I am single. Hey, you don't need to be single to not live alone. I mean, I used to live with a lot of roommates. Imagine, a lot of people live with roommates. What's up, nerd? What up, Vanna? How you holding up? Yo, thanks for the 2 months. I appreciate you. We're reading spooky, scary horror stories. Just make sure that, whatever you do, if you're easily triggered, which I don't think none of you are, but still, I'm gonna put it out there again.
Warning, some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
There you go. So at least you have been warned. Ooh, my girlfriend note, I'm single. A horror story? What? I haven't lived with a roommate since I was able to avoid it. Unless you count my dogs as roommates. Yeah, true. Warning is very quiet. Let me... All right, there we go. Now that should be better. Disturbing? What are you reading? My mind or something? What if I was? So again, we're playing Sirach. We're playing your emotions. We're playing your scary bone. I'm playing with your scary bone. Actually, can I take that sentence back? Can I take that one back, actually? That's not what I wanted to say. God damn it. I take it back. I take it back, I swear. Be creepier. You can do it. Why do you guys not think I'm creepy? No. God damn it. I thought I was being creepy and all. Stop being cute if you want to scare us. Bro, what? What do you mean? What do you mean stop being cute? What the? I'm super scary right now. Don't you see how scary I am? Right? Am I not scary? Why don't you guys think it's scary? I mean, come on. At least that's scary. That's scary, right? No? Of course it's scary. I'm very spooky, very scary. Thank you. Yeah, that's kind of scary. See? You're like a bird. The harder they try to be scary, the cuter they are. God damn it, why? Why? Come on. Wait, what? Oh, God, it's Strat. God damn it. That's the only clip that's gonna be out there. God damn it. I have a love-hate relationship with clipping, man. I love it, but it's basically the compilation of everything that's ever happened that was embarrassing in here. Pyrock is scarier? You think Pyrock is scarier? Do I?
Creep you out now? Is that something you want to see? Wouldn't you eat Pyrock? Oh my god, I've just gotten the greatest idea! Don't you guys think I'm scary now? Don't you think I'm scary now? The smile is up in there. I can't wait to eat you whole. See? That was scarier, way scarier. I thought you really did like Pyrock, and I know you do. That's why Alpha Doggy gifted one to Cha-Cha Lovers, that's right. Now you get free from Angel, you can discover the true Pyrock.
But that's besides the point. Yo! Thank you, Alpha. I appreciate you. Thank you for gifting to Cha-Cha. That's so sweet of you. All right. On that note, on that wonderful, wonderful, generous note, Doggy's fine, but it's actually Doogie. All right. I've got you, cowboy. I'll do it. Doogie, baby. So, for the next step, what do we have here? We have another story. This time, also a little bit short, but I don't want to dwell until like the really, really, really long stories until a little bit later on. I want to warm you guys up, you know? There we go. So the next one is called My Family.
I died 8 years ago. Oh shit.
Oh shit! Ah, Strap! Jesus, wow! Strap, thank you so much! Holy shit! Whoa! Thank you! Everybody clap for Strat, who's doing the chat thing here, gifting to Bulbumbina Raycall. Raycall? Oh, let's go. Raycall sounding the Pie Man. Yo! Strat gifting to... Are you cleansing, Strat? Is that what I'm seeing here? Are you out there cleansing? Is that what I'm hearing? God damn it. Hey, Darwolf, welcome in again. You're officially one of us and one of us. Yo! There were once an ugly barnacle. Uh-huh. Yeah, or like I died 8 years ago. The end. Yeah, the only scary story you'll ever need. Just wanted to take the hype to... Hell yeah. Yo, thank you. Thank you. I'm always so appreciative, and you know, it's just such a blessing. So I want to thank you guys so much. Thank you so much. So much for everything that you're doing for me. And also, thank you so
Much for feeding the pie! Feed the pie. Give in to the pie! That's right, and if you have Amazon Prime, slapping that Prime on the table. Because that pie won't fill itself up, if you know what I mean. Remember to hydrate with your enemy's blood or your girlfriend's on that special time of the month, and put it in muffins and gift it to your school teachers. Oh, listen to Pirate. Do it! You guys like it here, right? Scatter! Exactly. I'll start eating coconut cream pies. Oh, that actually sounds nice. Coconut cream. Haven't tasted it yet. On the to-do list. All right.
Huh?
All right. There we go. Ah. Let's go. Wait, I still do? Huh? Wait a minute. Wait, how's that possible? Huh? What? Huh? Oh. 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 Hey. It's my real voice. Damn. A mask. A mask. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Wait. Huh? What did I do? I broke something! I broke something! Help! Help me! Help me! Help me! No! Please help me! I'm dying! Oh no! No! Come on! Come on! Do it!
But, huh?
Uh,
I know what happened. There you go. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in again. We're back. We're always back. Time for the spooky, scary skeleton. And shivers down your spine. Hey! That's right. Yo, Bullboard, welcoming and officially one of us. One of us. I'm happy to have you all here. Happy to have you all here. So now, are you ready for yet another horror story? Because I'm ready to go, baby. I am ready to go and spook you guys out. Woo! There you go. Zurich is a doom named Rock IRL. Actually, I am The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I just put a wig on. She protects, she attacks, but she will always come to your back. Yeah, I'll always defend. Or come on your back, but I don't know if that's... I mean, is that... whatever. How frightening. I tripped, and then I ended up here. Bullboard, welcome in. And thank you guys for the hype train. Let's fucking go. Woo! Hey, emotes. Emotes. We got the emotes. Hype train, baby. Let's go. Show us the emote you got, baby. Woo! Come on. Oh, come on back, brain cell, baby. Let's go. All right, guys. Hydrate as well. All right? Hydrate as well. That's right. Cheers, baby. There we go. So, now we've got the other one, the other story I'm trying to pick up since a while. It is called...
My family.
Oh my God, I'm the Fast and Furious guy.
Family.
What's his name? The Fast and Furious guy. What's his name? There you go. Vin Diesel. There we go. Hell yeah. Look at this. It's all about family. Wow. There we go. Yeah, show. No! All right, I can't do that. I tried. Tried to put it on stream, and it didn't want to work. Well, the more you know. Time for me to lurk. Have a good chat. Don't scare us to rock too much. What do you mean? I'm the one who's doing the scaring right now. Vin Gundam Diesel, hell yeah. All right. Let's get back to it. My
family. I died 8 years ago. It wasn't particularly tragic or unusual. Just a car accident. I don't blame the man who hit me. He was speeding because his wife was in labor. And there was black ice on the road. He lost control of the car and I lost my life. It's not his fault. I know that. I'm not cruel. I'm not vengeful. If anything, I'm the opposite. You see, I don't have any family left, and I had lost my few friends around at that time. When it was time for my funeral, the only people who came was my boss and the family who killed me. The wife held her newborn daughter close to her chest. I hated my boss, and the cemetery was awfully lonely. Sorry, I had to. I had to. Lily may as well been my own flesh and blood. She was sweet and bright and oh so very small. She had trouble sleeping if someone wasn't rocking her crib and her parents were so tired. After they put her to bed, it was easy for me to rock her crib for her. I didn't get tired. I could help her. As the years passed, Jack and Laurie realized that they weren't alone in the house. It didn't take long from there to make a connection between my funeral and when I had showed up. And I'd never been malevolent, so they weren't afraid or angry. They started to burn candles on the anniversary of my death day. They left an empty chair for meals and holiday. Really felt like a member of the family. Someone is trying to force the door. It's Laura's ex. He's obsessive. He's angry. And he's going to hurt the family. My family. The thing about ghosts is that the more offerings you get, the stronger you become. I'd been enjoying candles, trinkets, and even the occasional food item for the past 5 years. I was strong from that. The knife feels warm in my hand. A shock of heat against the ice of my skin. Laurie, Jack, and Lily are my family. I care about them. And they're not going to join me yet.
Don't bully family members, baby, because the ghost will hunt them back. Actually, really sweet story. It's a spooky, lovely ghost story. And I'd have to say, I love having a ghost like that in my house. Don't you think? Spoopy. That was more nice. The scariest story is a 2-liner. I woke up on a Monday. It's tax season and I didn't set up your receipt. Oh, snap. You know what's oh my God. There's other scary stuff out there. Super spooky. Super spooky, doogie. What if you fell in love with a ghost? And get ghosted? Damn. Imagine. Now the next one is slightly scarier, slightly longer, but definitely one that's out there. So, ladies, gentlemen, and others, this is, I think, the weirdest one so far. So I have to say, this one is called My Sugar Daddy Asked Me for Weird Favors. I know, kind of weird, but it is how it is. Shrug, please, I need clarity. No. No. My sugar daddy asked me for weird favors. His Tinder profile says he's 45, but he looked to be in his early 30s at most. Cheers. Looking for a sugar baby. 700 weekly. No sex. No farts. No farts either. Oh, goddamn Aussie. It sounded too good to be true. But as a broke university student, I was willing to take my chances. I swiped right, and Tinder let me know it was a match. His message came seconds later. Hey there, sweetheart. Oh my god.
Hey there, sweetheart.
I cringed at that word. I hated it. But $700 is $700. So I sucked it up and replied, hey. His name was Jack, and he told me he owned his own business, although he never specified what kind of business it was. We talked for a while before he asked me for my Venmo to send me his first payment. And Bulborb, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. Whoever smelt it dealt it. So $100 is $700. Well, it is true. After a few minutes, I got the notification. I started at the 700 for at least 20 minutes. Was expecting to wake up from a dream at any second, but it wasn't a dream.
You still there?
I clicked on the message. Yeah, sorry. If you don't mind me asking, what are you looking for in return? I stared at the chat until he replied.
I'm just looking for you to do a few favors for me.
That sounded like it was going to be sexual to me. Like what?
For example, the first thing I need you to pick up is a delivery for me.
That sounded innocent enough, but I was still expecting there to be some kind of twist. $700 to pick up a package? Come on! I'm not even that naive. So, from the post office or something?
No. I'll send you the address. But I'd rather not do this, though, through Tinder. You got Kick? Or you can give me your number?
Kick? What is this, 2011? True, Kick is pretty old. So I decided to give him my number instead. And he texted me the address immediately, followed by the address to this house, where I would have dropped off the package.
I'm not home right now, but there's a key on the bottom of the blue flower pot near the door. Go inside and put the package on the coffee table in the living room. Make sure that you lock the door when you go inside the house, and then lock it again when you leave.
I grabbed my car keys and wallet to go into my car, putting the address into Google Maps. Got it! On my way! My phone buzzed as I backed out of my driveway.
I'm serious. Lock all doors both times. Please.
Though it was a little excessive, but I promised him that I would. The house looked abandoned. It had a broken chain link fence around it, and a small door that was hanging onto dear life. It stuck out like a sore thumb, surrounded by houses that were a lot nicer than this one in comparison. The truck turned into a demon. Did I? You'll never know. The house looked abandoned, and it had a broken chain link fenced around it, with a small door that was hanging onto dear life. It stuck out like a sore thumb, surrounded by houses that were a lot nicer than this one in comparison.
You here for Jack's shit?
I looked up to see a man standing in the doorway of the house. He took up almost the entire space, his head skimming on the top of the doorframe. It was huge in height and muscles. His entire torso was covered in tattoos. I guess, I replied, not moving from my spot on the sidewalk.
Stay right there.
He said. I did. I actually don't think I would have moved if he asked me to. I looked around and realized that there was no one else on the street. I was a 21-year-old woman, alone in the street. I gripped my car keys. As you should. As I should. A few minutes later, the man came back carrying a cardboard box. It was about the size of a shoebox, but stained and damp on some of the corners.
Can you open your car?
he asked. I opened the trunk, not wanting that inside of my car seats he said it in. Yeah, we don't want that package inside the car. We want it outside the car. Well, in the trunk,
All right, there you go.
he said. Thanks, I replied. I walked around to the driver's side of the car and opened the door,
Oh, and one more thing.
he said. I looked at him.
Watch out!
He said. I didn't reply. I blasted my music as I drove to Jack's house, hoping it would drown out my anxiety. It didn't. I parked my car in the stone driveway and stayed inside the car, admiring the house. It was a huge house with stone pillars on the front porch and the greenest grass I've ever seen in my life. I turned the car off and got out. I grabbed the package and walked to the front door, getting the key from where he said it would be. I opened the door and stepped in, closing it behind me. I thought about what he had said, locking the door when I got inside. I thought it was a little overboard, but as I stared at the closed door, something made me reach out and lock it. I walked inside, my feet cushioned by the thick maroon carpet, and admired the inside of the house. The furniture was wooden and looked incredibly expensive. I would have probably finished school a dozen times with the money that it had took it to furnish this place. I set the package down to the coffee table, and as I walked back the door, I heard a phone ring from somewhere inside the house. I froze. In my pocket, my phone buzzed. I took it out. Take a look.
Don't answer any calls that aren't from Marvin.
I put my phone back and followed the sound of the phone, poking my head into a few different rooms until I found it. It was in an office. I walked over the desk and looked at the caller ID.
Incoming call from Jack.
It was odd. I grabbed my phone to look at the message again. I was starting to get a little creeped out and decided I would answer just to be safe. I left the house, remembering to lock the door as I left. I've done few more favors for Jack since then. I drove a BMW to random parks in another city, only to get out and drive a different car back to Jack's house. He had met one of his employees at lunch, who then gave me a briefcase to deliver to the first house I'd gone to and told me he would know if I looked inside. On several occasions, he asked me to drive down that same house and stay with a guy whose name was Julio for a certain amount of time. In total, I've made about $3,500. Most recently, Jack asked me to stay in his house overnight. I woke up to a text message from him.
I need you to spend the night at my house.
I hadn't even seen him in person, but I had talked to him on the phone a few times. He proceeded to tell me that he would pay me $1,000 to spend the night at his house, provided I would follow the rule. I drove to his house that evening. The driveway was empty, and it normally was, but the porch light was on. I walked up, unlocked the door, went inside, and locked it again. Everything in the house looked the same. Jack had told me over the phone that he would leave the list of rules on the dining room table. I set all my stuff down in the living room. My bags looked like garbage compared to the fancy furniture in there. I wandered into the kitchen, and then to the dining room. Sure enough, there was a piece of paper on the wooden table, held down by an empty glass.
Lock the door when you come in. Only answer calls from Marvin. Don't turn on any faucets between 9 p.m. and 11 p.m. Don't open the door for anyone, no matter who they say they are, after 10 p.m. If the door to the closet at the end of the hall is open, sleep in the library. If it's closed, sleep in any of the bedrooms. The gardener comes at midnight. If he starts knocking on windows, hide. Turn the TV on and let it play static through the night. Do not forget to do this. Help yourself to anything in the fridge. I'll pay you in the morning. Good night.
I made sure to follow the rules. To be honest, I was regretting my decision. But seeing as I was already here and I was getting paid, I decided to stay anyway. I figured as long as I followed the rules, it'd be perfectly fine. Still, felt a little odd. What is this, a haunted house? Nevertheless, I lounged around the house for a few hours. I was planning on going to sleep around 9 since that's the time that all the weird shit would begin to happen. So at 8:50, I brushed my teeth using the faucet for the last time before 9. I checked the closet in the hallway. Upon seeing that it was open, I moved my stuff into the library and got ready to sleep on the couch. I locked 2 doors just in case and laid on the couch, scrolling through my phone. I hadn't gotten any more messages from Jack, and I started to think up scenarios and reason why he had such strict, peculiar sets of rules in his house. I had dozed off at some point because at exactly 10:16 p.m., I was woken up by a doorbell ringing. I was about to get up to check, but then I remembered the rule.
Don't open the door for anyone, no matter who they say they are, after 10 p.m.
I stayed on the couch trying not to move, paranoid that they would hear even the slightest sound.
It's the police! Open up!
I didn't move.
Hello? It's the police! Open up or we're coming in!
I still didn't move, but I could hear my heartbeat in my ears. There was silence for a while after that. Then the doorbell rang again.
Hey, it's Jack! Let me in!
It sounded like Jack, but still, I didn't get up. He would have the key, wouldn't he? Why would he need to let me let him in? This continued for almost an hour. Different people would ring the doorbell, announce themselves, then disappear when I didn't respond. I was finally able to fall asleep. The gardener never came. When I woke up the next morning, I heard someone in the kitchen. I got up slowly and unlocked the door as quietly as possible, taking my phone with me and walking across the living room into the kitchen. I stopped at the entrance, then peered in. It was Jack. He was standing in front of the stove, stirring something as the coffee machine brewed coffee on the counter behind him.
Hey, good morning!
He said when he saw me. Hi, I replied, nervous. I hadn't seen him in person before, but he looked exactly like his pictures online.
Scrambled eggs?
He asked. Yo, moving the pan with a wooden spoon. Yeah, thanks, I replied, walking over to take the plate from him. I ate my breakfast and drank some coffee in silence.
So, how was it?
He asked. It was okay. Nothing super freaky happened, I replied.
Cool.
He replied. There was an awkwardness in the room. I think I'm gonna go now. I have class. I trailed off. I didn't, but really wanted to get out of there.
Oh, no, yeah, sure, I'll talk to you some other time.
He replied. I grabbed my stuff, and he walked me to my car. I could see him standing in the driveway, staring at me as I left. When I got home, I unpacked all my stuff and noticed I still had the list with me. I sat on my bed and read it again. It felt like my body tensed up as I realized that I'd forgotten something. Oh my God.
Turn the TV on and let it play on static throughout the night. Do not forget to do this. Turn the TV on and let it play static throughout the night. Do not forget to do this. Do not forget to do this.
I stared at the words on the page until they lost the meaning. Beside me, my phone buzzed, snapping me back to reality. It was a $1,000 payment. I looked at my phone and the back of the list. Maybe it wasn't an important step. I was thinking this over. A text from Jack came in.
I'm not in town right now. I shall be back next week. So you're free from running any more errands from me until then. Just set the payment. Go do something fun.
I stared at the message and read it again and again. And what's more for good measure?
I'm not in town right now.
I thought back to this morning, how Jack was in his house. He gave me breakfast.
I'm not in town right now.
Within minutes, a new text came in, this time from a number that I didn't recognize. Did you?
Forget something? Smiley face.
The text was followed by a picture of Jack, or whoever this version of Jack was, standing in front of the TV. I didn't respond. Next came another picture, with this one outside of my house. It was followed by another text.
Watch out!
My mic crashed exactly as this happened. My mic fucking crashed as this happened. My mic fucking crashed. It's as if Jack was haunted by something or someone. And they didn't want me to warn you guys. That was scary though. That was hella scary. What the hell? I mean, hey, you know when they say at 700, I mean, hey, she made like 4,000 something, but I mean, hey, I guess he's now gone now. What up, Spectral? Ready to get scared? Ready to get scared? Turok scared her mic. I mean, hey, somebody had to do it. I'm not scared because you write horror book. Why all the rules? Hi, Turok, back. Hey, welcome in. We're reading horror stories, as you guys should know. We're reading horror stories. So for everybody that's coming in, let me just put that up there.
Warning. Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
So. Nothing explained. That's why it's creepy. So I'll let you guys get some more water. I'll go to the bathroom real quick because this scares me a bit. And I will be back in tea time, 30 minutes. Let's go. Wow. Whew. All right, I'm back. Let's go. Are y'all ready for other scary stories? Fill up my water again. No, no. I said 30 seconds. I never stay out for long. 3 minutes. Very well. Exactly. Dang, warning. Yeah, absolutely. Piss yourself? Her soul pissed herself. Hey! Maybe a little bit. Are you gone making some lemonade? Actually, let me do that. Nah, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So, are y'all ready for another creepy experience?
To be honest, that got a creep. That creeped me out a little bit. The last one,
The last one actually creeped me out, I have to say, though. Lux Gaming, welcome in. You're not officially one of us. One of us. Yeah, I think I know where the voice problem comes from, by the way. I just need to fix it. Just need to fix it. But I don't know why it doesn't want to be fixed. Well, at least I know where the problem's coming from. All right. Bitches and bros and non-binary hoes, get ready to get creeped out again. Because we're going to have a new one coming in here. Start tomorrow on Dias Le Muertos. It's a new account. Ooh. Oh, it's a new account. God damn it. How can I write it? It's a new moon. It's a new moon. It's a new day. It's a new life for me. And I'm feeling spooky. Bwomp, bwomp. Bwomp, bwomp. Bwomp, 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 bwomp. Where the hose, Rathan stood up. But I mean that with the most kindness. With the you're dad bitch kind of vibe, all right? Whew, all right. Are y'all ready for another spine-chilling story? As, I am ready for another one. Let's go. Get ready. Coursed Jane. So, let's start it with the next story. Feel my spine, baby girl. I'll try. I'll try. I'll try to do it justice, all right? The next story is called... Well, this one might be a creepy one. This one is called... My wife has been peeking at me from around corners and behind furniture. It's gone from weird to terrifying. My wife, Lynn, and I have been together for 6 years and married for 11 months. Our entire history together has been very normal, and never once have I noticed any weird behaviors or red flags. Can't stress enough how out of character this whole thing is for her. Yonder is the rock. Lynn is very kind, intelligent, and thoughtful. She's always been on the no-nonsense type of person. Being childish or typing or trying to scare me is not something she'd normally do. She doesn't even like watching horror movies. When we first started dating, she agreed to watch The Shining with me because she knew how much I loved horror. She was so scared that she didn't even make it through half of the movie before we had to turn it off. She isn't into anything creepy or has never been into pranks. It's just not her cup of tea. And that's fine, you know? But that's what's so strange about this. It's just so unlike her, you know? I should also add that I never had any mental health issues as far as I'm aware of, and it doesn't run in the family either. I know some people are able to hide their mental health problems, but in 6 years we've been together, I think I'd have seen some sort of sign, or obvious signs. 2 months ago, I was in the kitchen making myself some coffee before work. I was running a bit late, and that morning I knew I wouldn't be able to make it to Dunkin' Donuts, my usual morning fix. I took a sip of my coffee and hurried down the hall towards the front door, when I happened to notice Lynn peeking at me from around the corner ahead of me. I could only see her eyes and a strand of her long, dark hair hanging against the wall. The rest of her body was concealed behind the corner. I nearly spilled my coffee when I saw her. I did burn the shit out of my lips. "Jeez, Lynn," I said, whipping out a few cups of coffee and on my pants. "You scared the shit out of me." She immediately popped out the view, like a little kid that had been caught. I heard her scurry off towards the living room. And by this time, I had got to the front of the door. It was out of sight. It was really weird, and just totally out of character for her like that. You know, like I said, I also found it kind of funny that she was being more playful and a little bit less serious. I shouted that I love her and called her a weirdo. As I shut the door behind me, I heard her laughing. Her behavior was a bit odd, but certainly wasn't something to call a priest over. I forgot about it by lunch, and by the time I got home, she was her normal self. Didn't bring up, and neither did she. Life went on, nobody brought her up. The next incident happened 3 days later. It was around 2 a.m. that I had woken up to get a drink. I was standing at the kitchen island. Jug of OJ in my hand, where I felt a strong feeling that I was being watched. By the way, mind break me, mommy. Thank you. I really appreciate gifting the gift that you gave to Distorted Kind of Epitaph. It's a 23 stub. That's really nice. Thank you very much. Hope I don't scare you too much today. Uh-huh. I hope I don't. Voice issue again? Oh, I know exactly what's up. There we go. There we go. Now, yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. There we go. And now when I do this, now when I do this.
Now, yeah. I figured it out. That's right, Pyrock is back, baby! Pyrock is back! Did you miss me? 'Cause I missed you. Definitely did miss you. By the way, like I said, mind break me, mommy. Thank you so much. Thank you for gifting. I appreciate y'all.
All right. Now we go back. All right, I should drink some water. Cheers. I'm your biggest fan, Pyrock. This mouse no longer does the sound effect. Oh, god damn it. Everything broken. There we go. Oh, shit. Bam, thank you so much. Happy Halloween all. Just came in to wish you a grand day and try not to blow your grippers off with fireworks. You guys have fireworks for Halloween? What the hell? I want fireworks too. Come on. Fireworks are nice. I'd love to have some fireworks. Thank you so much. 8 months? Hey, we're almost having a Twitch baby here. Almost. Luftenshelte? Huh? What, Doogie? Your words can scare every human being. Blasted teeth. That is scary, though. Everyone loved to play with fireworks. Oh, yeah, me too. So, let's get back to the story we were, shall we? It was really weird. Oh yeah, let's pop it from there. Hey, what up, Hikaru? Welcome in. We're reading horror stories. For people who are coming in. Oh, if you pop out as I'm reading, first James, I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. And I'm just watching fireworks. Yeah. Hail from Shiro's. Oh, hello then. I'm glad to have you here. We're reading some scary stories. So we're still in the middle of one. Let me fill you in. My wife Lynn and I have been together for 6 years and married for 11 months. Lynn never does anything that's scary or playful or, she's a very serious person. And she started displaying some odd characteristics lately. 2 months ago, I was in the kitchen and making myself some coffee before work. I was running a bit late and she was watching me behind the furniture. She scared the shit out of me and I told her. And we never talked about it ever again. Because why not? Why should we? It was really weird. It was totally out of character for her to say that. But fuck it, right? The next incident happened 3 days later. It was around 2 a.m. I had just woken up to get a drink. I was standing at the kitchen island, jug of OJ in hand, when I felt a strong feeling that I was being watched. For whatever reason, I looked down at the floor and saw my wife's smiling face staring back. She was peeking at me from the other side of the island, staring up at me, wide, unblinking eyes, and grinning. Grinning like the Cheshire Cat. I screamed, I'll admit it. Not out of irritation, but fear. For some reason, at that moment, I was scared. At the sound of my scream, Lynn scuttled backwards out of my view, her hands and feet smacking the tile floor as she hurried out of the kitchen on all fours. I didn't run after her or even yelled at her. I just stood there, frozen in shock, wondering what the fuck had possessed her to do that. It took me a little longer than I'd like to admit to go back upstairs, but I eventually did. When I got to her bedroom, Lynn was lying on her side, asleep, or at least pretending to be. I stood there with her for a while, watching her breathing to be sure she was really asleep. I had the feeling she might jump out at me at any moment, but she didn't. I climbed into the bed, and she didn't even move. Her breathing was soft and deep as I was starting to wonder if I dreamt the whole thing. The next morning, I waited for her to come down for coffee, and after hanging out Ahmad and kissing her cheek, I decided to ask her about it. What was that about last night? I asked, keeping my tone light so I didn't offend or embarrass her. She frowned on her cup of coffee, shaking her head like she had no clue what I was referring to. You were peeking at me again, from over there, I said, pointing at the spot on the floor. Wait, let me... Ah! Oh, wrong. Then she jumped at me. Kidding. Gaslight, gatekeep, girl demon. Exactly. She followed my gaze, and when she looked back at me, She burst out laughing. She laughed so hard I couldn't help but join her. You creep me the fuck out sometimes, you know that? I said. She giggled and set her cup on a counter and wrapped her arms around my neck. You creep me all the time, so I guess we're even. Peace. We said our goodbyes and left for work. As I drove, I kept thinking about how creepy it had been seeing her grinning at me from behind the aisle like that. The sound her hands make on the floor as she crawled away. I told myself she was just trying to be silly, just trying to join me in my love of all the things horror. It's not like I was afraid of her, but it still didn't sit right with me. I started seeing her peeking at me one more and another time, and more and more and more. Sometimes she'd be peeking out from behind the couch or living room curtains. Once she even managed to get inside her grandmother's old trunk that sits at the foot of her bed. I might not have even known she was there at all, and had the trunk's old hinges not given her away. How did she do that? She'd had the lid propped up just enough so that only half of her face peeked through. She'd been grinning like an excited toddler. It was unnerving. I didn't even know what to say to her. All I could do was stare. When I finally found my voice, I asked her why on earth was she doing this? She didn't answer, but she had slowly closed the lid, shutting herself inside the trunk. I just walked away, feeling disturbed. I didn't understand why she was doing it. Like, it clearly made her happy. I just hoped she would tire of the game quickly. Lynn didn't peek at me for the next 2 weeks. I started to think she was done with her weird prank, and I was relieved. We were watching a show on Netflix, and one night I jokingly said that I hadn't seen her peeking at me lately, and that she might have given up on her spy game. She looked at me with a small smile and shit, and said, maybe I've just gotten better at it. I didn't say anything, but I wondered whether or not she was joking. For the next few days, I couldn't stop thinking about what she'd said. Was she still peeking at me when I wasn't looking? When I just hadn't noticed? And even so, what the hell was she getting out of this? I started to feel paranoid, constantly checking whether or not she was watching from around the corner or behind the door. I was jumpy whenever I was home, and she wasn't in full view of me. I felt stupid and a little crazy. But after a few weeks without another incident, I began to relax. I stopped checking behind furniture and walls and told myself it was just a bad memory. Then a few days ago, things got so much worse. Lynn left to go to a friend's, and I lounged on the couch and played a couple games on my laptop. And around 9 p.m., I hopped out of the shower, and I was watching the soap from my hair. I felt that awful, disturbing feeling that I was being watched. I slowly opened my eyes, and I almost had a fucking heart attack. Lynn was peeking from behind the shower curtain, her entire head stretched into the shower, leaving just her body outside. Her long dark hair hung against the curtain, the ends dripping with water. Her mouth hung open with a terrible grin. Eyes wide open and red, as if she hadn't blinked for a while. I screamed and jumped back against the wall. She didn't move, nor did she smile or waver. Her makeup ran down her cheeks in 2 black streaks. The streaks were as black as her soul. She looked giddy and completely deranged. I was fucking terrified. We stood like that for a few moments, neither of us saying a word. Finally, after what I felt like forever, she slowly pulled her head back out of the shower, and I watched her blurry figure her blurry figure through the curtains as she moved backwards toward the bathroom door. A second later, the bathroom door slammed shut, hard enough to riddle a mirror. I screamed again and jumped out of the shower to lock the door. I stayed inside the bathroom for over an hour. Maybe I overreacted to some of you. But a joke or not, I wasn't going to put up with that crazy shit anymore. That's what I kept telling myself as I paced in my bathroom, stopping to listen at the door every few minutes. Suddenly, I heard a muffled sound, and I pressed my ear against the bathroom door, straining to listen. I couldn't hear anything, but I envisioned Lynn standing on the other side of the door, giggling at her joke. I felt the surge of anger. I was beyond pissed at being made to feel scared in my own house and made to hide in the bathroom for like an hour. All for what? Some joke? If it was a joke, it was an awful one. What the fuck, Lynn? I snapped. This shit is getting really fucking annoying. I waited for her to apologize or to call me a jerk, but instead, I heard a faint moan. So quiet, I wonder if I heard it at all. And then, complete silence. Lynn? I called out. Not able to even hide the shakiness of my voice, I got no response. Just my own heavy breathing. Swear to God, just fucking stop, I yelled, pounding my fist on the door. I waited for her to cuss me out. Something I would expect from me talking to her like that. Never screamed at her before. But there was nothing. Just the occasional drip from the shower head. I won't deny that I was scared. Too afraid to open the damn door and face my own wife. I waited another 30 minutes or so, which feels like a fucking lifetime when you're scared. Finally, decided I wasn't gonna spend the night hiding in my bathroom. So I got down on my knees and peered under the door. I almost expected to see her face peeking back at me, but thankfully it didn't. I could see straight down the hallway. On top of that, the stairs. But no Lynn. I didn't know if I should be happy about that or not. I looked for a few minutes, waiting for her to pop her head over to step up, but it never came. I stood up, my hand hovering at the door, mentally prepared to open it. I slowly turned the lock with my shaky fingers, and I was about to yank it open when I heard a sound that still makes me feel nauseous when I think about it. A moan, louder than before, but this time I was able to tell just where it was coming from. I turned my head to the closet door as if in slow motion and locked eyes with my wife, who was peeking out at me from the slight gap. Her eyes were still wide as ever, and her mouth was hanging open in the most grotesque, gaping smile I'd ever seen. I didn't even scream. I was too scared for even that. Her hands were clasped onto her chest, body trembling with sheer delight, as if she could barely contain her excitement. A short raspy moan bubbled up from her throat, deep and raw, sending a shiver through my entire body. Somehow I found the ability to pull the bathroom door open and ran as fast as I can, all the way down the steps, snagging my keys and phone from the table in the living room and running outside of my car. I could hear her shrill laughter behind me, but I didn't hear her getting closer. Didn't hear her getting closer at all. I didn't bother shutting the front door. I drove away from the house faster, as I legally should have, shivering the entire time, either from fear or the cold, maybe a little bit of both. But I had to grab a coat or even a pair of shoes. I was still in my boxers. My hair was still damp. I drove straight to my brother's Chris's house about 40 minutes away, ignoring any and every call and text I got. I didn't check my phone until I was safely parked in my brother's driveway. Lynn had called 4 times and sent a flurry of texts, all wondering where I'd gone and why I'd left like that. I threw my phone at the dash in a rage, furious at her nonchalant attitude. My brother and his wife were surprised to see me, especially dressed up just in a pair of boxers, but told me to stay as long as I needed. Chris lent me some clothes and asked me what happened. I told him Len and I had a fight, but I didn't get into the details. I didn't want him to think I was overreacting, leaving my wife over a prank, even if it was a strange one. I mean, hadn't it encouraged her for years to lighten up instead of being so serious all the time? I wanted her to relax and loosen up, but this was definitely not what I had in mind. I tried to sleep on the sofa, but my brain wouldn't let me sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw Lynn's face staring at me from inside the closet. Knowing she'd been in there with me the entire time made my skin crawl. She never left the fucking bathroom at all. Instead, she slipped inside the closet and slammed the bathroom door shut to fool me. The mere thought of going back home gave me anxiety. I tossed and turned, unable to sleep. Chris ended up giving me a sleeping pill, so I was able to get a little rest. My sleep was filled with terrible dream, all of Lynn's smiling face. I woke up just as the sun started to rise. My sore body ached from the sofa. I felt drained. I knew I'd have to call Lynn at some point, but I didn't know what to do and what to say to her. I wouldn't be going home unless she gave me and her word that she'd never do any more creepy shit. I just wanted my wife back. Her normal, serious self never looked so good to me. I was contemplating calling her and telling her that when that familiar feeling came over me. I was being watched. I was staring at the ceiling, my heart in my throat. Didn't want to look away, but the longer I ignored the feeling, the worse it got. My eyes drifted away from the ceiling, almost onto their own. Her face was pressed against the window beside the couch, staring down at me with the same gaping smile. Drool dribbled down her lips, leaving 2 long streaks down the glass. I didn't even know how long she'd been there, but something told me she'd been there for quite a while. Possibly all night. I didn't bother screaming. I was afraid anger trumped any fear I had felt at that moment. I jumped up from the couch and pounded my palm against the glass. Lynn, are you crazy? What the hell is wrong with you? Just go home, I shouted. Now! She didn't move, and her ghastly expression never changed. If anything, her smile only grew, as if she had never been more elated. I could hear Chris and his wife moving around upstairs, as if Lynn could hear them from the same place outside. Her head twitched slightly in that direction, and she began to close her mouth slowly. Chris called my name from upstairs, obviously concerned. I turned to see him and his wife Rebecca hurrying down the steps. When I turned back the window, Lynn was gone. The only sign she'd been there at all was the 2 streaks of drool still dripping down the glass. I tried explaining to Chris and Rebecca about waking up to see Lynn watching me through the window. They were skeptical. Who wouldn't be? Chris and I went outside to spot in front of the window, but there was no footprints in the dirt. Just a slight indent. Animal, probably? Chris guessed, and I didn't argue. He and Rebecca assumed I dreamt the entire episode, but they didn't understand, and I was too tired to explain them to them. I called out of work that day and turned my cell off. I didn't want to face Lynn. Just talking to her was too much for me at that point. I really started to believe something was irreversibly wrong with her. That no matter the promise she'd made, we'd never be the same again. I thought saddened to my core. I cried most of the morning. By noon, I figured I was ready to comfort her and to confront her. Give her one last chance to explain herself. I could at least give her that 6 years I told myself. I turned my phone on and saw the dozens of texts she'd sent. All from a seemingly concerned wife. Can we talk? I love you. Please call me. I'm worried. Can you answer? Just came home. And more of the same. All texts telling me she loved me and she wanted me home. How worried she was. Not a damn one addressing the crazy shit she pulled. Like she hadn't been acting like a character from a Stephen King book. Even her texts were different. She not only texted novels just to tell me to pick up a loaf of bread. You'd think she'd have more to say after her bizarre shenanigans. I know it probably seems childish to some of you who are miles away from this situation, but if you saw the way Lynn looked at me, how she scampered away on all fours like some wild animal, grinning at me from the inside of the closet like a lunatic, then I think you'd find my reaction was warranted. I ended up staying with Chris and Rebecca for another night, and didn't wake up yesterday until afternoon. And thankfully, I didn't see Lynn's face watching me through the window. I don't want to pry because it's not my place, but is this a fight that can be mended? Rebecca asked. She'd made us both a sandwich for lunch and knew she wanted to breach the subject without seeming to be nosy. I don't know. She's like a different person, I said, choosing my words carefully. I still wasn't ready for her or Chris to know the full extent of that batshit craziness I had been dealing with. People change, Ben, but she's still the same woman you married. Maybe you just both need to talk through your issues, you know? Whatever's going on, I'm sure you can be fixed. I'm sure she can be fixed, too. She said, ever the pacemaker. I think it's beyond that now. I don't think talking would help. I just don't trust her. I said, the words stung in my heart. I missed and loved my wife. But how could I live with someone like that? Living in a constant fear didn't sound too appealing. Lynn loves you. She has to be absolutely crushed, she says. I don't know about that, I said. By the way, welcome y'all. Mac, I see you, and Griffin, officially one of us. One of us. Well, she certainly seemed like it to me. I never seen her so upset, very much unlike the Lynn I know. Rebecca said, shaking her head sadly. It took a full minute for her words to really sink in, and what they did. Felt dread worming its way through my skin. Wait, what do you mean you saw her? You saw Lynn? My mouth certainly dry. Now a little bit less dry. Rebecca nodded casually if it was a fact, wasn't a nightmare fuel. Maybe for her it wasn't. She stopped by this morning after Chris left for work, she said, cleaning the plates from the table. I didn't see her car, though. Maybe she took an Uber or something. Beck, what did she say? Did she come inside? I asked. Sweat started to break out on my forehead. I began looking around, examining corners though like a predator lurked behind them. No. She just asked if you were awake, and I said that you weren't. I asked if she wanted me to make you, but... She asked if you wanted me to wake you, but she said no. Just to let you sleep. She says as she washes the dishes. That's all? She didn't say anything else? I asked. No. She looked awful, though, like she hadn't slept in days. I think you should call her. I got up from the table and thanked Rebecca for the lunch. I felt a little bit better at the knowledge that at least she hadn't come inside. Still, I needed to double check that the doors were locked. I sat for a while trying to figure out what to do next. I didn't want to go home, but I felt like I owed it to Lynn to help her if I could. I hadn't sworn an oath to love and honor her through sickness and health. Clearly, she was very sick. She was sick, which I truly believe she was. I had to try to get her the help she needed. But I didn't even know where to start. I didn't want to call the police, and besides, what the hell was I going to tell them? That my wife was peeking at me, and now she was being creepy? As bizarre as she's been, she still hadn't committed any crime. Not yet, anyway. So, why would I do that? The police would have probably said that I was overreacting. But this wasn't some prank. It felt wrong, dangerous even. Like something sinister lurked beneath her smile. I knew as her husband, I was well within my rights to have her committed. But what if she simply acted normal in her presence? What if she'd obviously been able to fool Rebecca into thinking she was just a concerned wife? As long as the doctors didn't find out that she was a danger to herself or others, they'd have no choice but to release her within 72 hours. I felt lost and overwhelmed. I called her mother. I didn't want to, believe me. Her mother, Marianne, and I were never on the best terms. We never fought or anything like that. She just wasn't a very warm person. And wasn't really easy to get along with. She hardly even smiled, and when she did, only her lips would move into the thin-lipped smile, leaving her eyes as blank as before. She gave off this aura that never felt like she was permanently on the offensive. I'd only met her twice, and both times were such short visits. I got the impression she didn't approve of me for her daughter. Lynn always ushered us out quickly, as she didn't want me to feel uncomfortable, which I was grateful for. Being in her mother's company felt almost unbearable, like walking on glass. I was glad when we moved three states away, so we didn't have to see her often. I was happy to avoid the woman, but I needed her help. Yes, she answered, sounding irritated. Marianne, it's me, Ben. Do you have a minute to talk? I asked. I could hear her clutch her tongue in irritation. Ooh. It's time to chat. Now. I'm in the middle of writing some checks, but if you insist, I suppose I can spare a moment. What is it that you want to discuss, Benjamin? She said coolly. Yeah, it's about Lynn. She's been acting strangely, and I was wondering if you had any idea whether it was something. I was quickly interrupted. It's a bit difficult to follow your rambling, Benjamin. What is it you want from me? She asked. I could almost see her standing there, her thin sweater and slacks, tapping her fingernails impatiently on the table. I wanted to know if you'd ever noticed any odd behaviors or probably any mental health issues, I asked. There was a long, uncomfortable pause that I could tell was because she was just thinking or something else. Finally, a few seconds, she spoke. I'm not sure that it is one of your jokes, Benjamin, but I don't find the humor in it. Nor do I have the business to attend to, as I've said. So if you don't mind, she said, but I cut her off before she could get rid of me. Marianne, it's not a joke. I'm sincerely concerned about Lynn's mental health. Her behavior has been erratic lately. I'm very worried about her, and I figured out as her mother, you would be as well. I said, my frustration evident in my voice. If you're truly concerned, then I suggest you get the health professional involved. I don't know what is it you expect from me, she snapped. I could tell she was seconds away from hanging up, and the reason was desperate. I had the feeling she knew a lot more than she was letting on. Please, if you don't do it for me, do it for Lynn. I tried. I heard a faint, shaky intake of breath, as if she was trying to hold her steely persona together, but failing. Marianne, I started. Benjamin, I don't know what to tell you. My only advice would be to seek professional help. Do not call here ever again. Goodbye. I tried to call out, but she'd hung up. I tried to wrap my head around the call, but her refusal to help me just was so evident. Even if she didn't like me, why wouldn't she want to help her own daughter? I couldn't understand that. I tried to replay the conversation despite trying to find something I missed. After a while, I almost gave up until I remembered her last 2 words to me. Seek professional help. She said those words with a bit of an urgency. I could have just been grasping at straws, but no. I'm sure her voice changed even so slightly when she said that, as if it was very important. What had she meant? I assumed she'd be referring to medical professionals, but maybe she was referring to someone else. Someone that she didn't, for some reason, feel comfortable saying directly? Maybe she was just desperate. I waited for Chris to get home after a very long, exhausting conversation with him and Rebecca. I convinced them that Lynn truly needs psychiatric help. It didn't tell them everything. I wasn't prepared to go into it yet, but I told them about our last encounter and how she'd hidden in the bathroom peeking at me from the closet. They were obviously shocked, but thankfully they believed me. They, too, just wanted to help her. Still, they didn't think it was all that serious. Weird, maybe not dangerous. But they kept saying that Lynn had to be playing some sort of weird joke. Maybe for YouTube, Rebecca offered, if only half-heartedly. Chris didn't think we should involve the police just yet. He offered instead to go with me, and I readily accepted. He reasoned that calmly talking to her, trying to coax her into going willingly, was the best resource. I agreed to do it his way. At least I wouldn't be going into that house alone. We drove over this morning, just after breakfast. There was no way I was going at night. When we pulled into the driveway, my stomach began doing somersaults. Her car wasn't there, but I still didn't let my guard down. The front door was ajar, and for a split second, I thought we'd see her eyes staring through the gap. I was shaking and starting to sweat. Chris, however, was fine. He waited for me to open the door, his hands in his pockets, like he was going through a fucking stroll through the park. I envied his ignorance. I pushed the door and open was immediately hit with the stench of rot. Chris smelled it too, and he walked in the house behind me, his nose scrunched up. What you guys use to clean the floors around here? Shit. What is it? Garbage? Chris mumbled. Shut up, I said, my eyes darting around for any signs of Lynn. The house was deadly quiet and dark despite being 10 in the morning. All the curtains were closed up tight, refusing to allow any sunlight inside. If I hadn't left just 2 days prior, I would have thought the house would be abandoned. I moved through each room, carefully checking any place that she might hide, occasionally calling her name. Why the fuck are you looking under the couch? Chris asked eventually. Why aren't you looking for your wife? She was looking at me like I was a moron. Let's go upstairs, I whispered. Let's go upstairs. He shook his head but followed me upstairs to check the bathroom and spare bathroom. On one way up, my shoes crunched over a piece of glass that looked to be littered over through steps. I noticed that one of Lynn and one of my wedding portraits hung on the wall along the staircase had been smashed. The frame hung crookedly, all glass removed. I stared at the picture, a lump forming in my throat. We had taken the photo just after leaving the church, after saying our vows. She looked so beautiful in that white gown. I looked at Lynn's beautiful face. I never dreamed of her face would ever be the source of terror for me. We climbed the rest of the steps and checked the spare bedroom, but it looked completely untouched. I was hesitant to go to the bathroom, my fear from that night coming back to me all at once. Chris noticed and offered to go in by himself, but I couldn't let him do that, so we walked in together, checking in the closet and in the shower. The bathroom looked as if I hadn't been touched since the night I left. I don't think she's in there, Ben. Why don't you pack some clothes and we'll try coming back tomorrow or something, Chris said. I nodded and went into her bedroom, shoved some clothes into a duffel bag. When I checked inside her closet, I came across the source of the smell and gagged. I gazed down in shock at what lay inside my bedroom closet, soaking into the rug, were at least a dozen eyeballs, carefully laid out in pairs. Some were as large as a quarter, other was as tiny as a marble. I stared down at the eyes she'd collected from the small animals, and I wondered how she'd gotten them, and shuddered at the thought. Man, that had been bad with Becca's shoe addiction, but fuck me, your wife's here collecting eyeballs, Chris said, gagging. Ben, I think we should go. He called from the hall. I'm getting nauseous. All right, I grabbed my stuff, the duffels, and shut the closet door on my new nightmare. I stepped into the hall and took a deep breath of air. I could taste the rot on my tongue and I couldn't help but gag. Who the fuck lines up eyeballs in their closets like that? Chris mumbled. Try to tell you she needed help, I said. She doesn't need help, Ben. She needs a fucking exorcist, he said. You coming out or what? Can't stand the smell any... His words were dried in his throat. His eyes grew wide in fear. I didn't ask him why. I could feel it. Someone was watching me. And I didn't think it was the eyes in the closet. I turned around, slowly scanning the bedroom. Christ, I whispered as I finally saw we'd missed. Under the bed, curled on her side, watching us with the excitement of a kid on Christmas morning, was my wife. She held her hands together, just under her chin. They were shaking eagerly. Now that she'd said she'd be fine, she'd been found, could hear the quiet noise she was making, sort of hiccuping sound of her throat. As if the excitement was too much for her. It was unnerving to say the least, wide open, and the same huge smile. Everything in me told me to run, but I forced it away. It was my wife. No matter how twisted, she was still the woman I married. I tried to help her. Lynn, I said softly. Lynn. She didn't respond, but her head bobbed back and forth into quick little movements. She was nodding. Baby, I just want to help, okay? Can you let me do that? I asked. I have taken a single step forward, approaching her like some kind of dangerous animal. I love you, Lynn, I said softly after taking a step closer. She let a tiny moan escape her wide open mouth, and I had to resist the urge to run. Her shoulder was starting to quiver, and her eyes grew as large as saucers. I crouched down so I could see her better and immediately saw the blood. Her hands were covered in it. They trembled the closer I got to it, as if she was barely able to contain herself. Lynn, are you hurt? Lynn, are you bleeding? I said. She bobbed her head again, her bloody fingers moving up and down as she's playing an invisible piano. She occasionally gazed her chin, leaving smears of blood on her skin. I wanted to recoil in disgust. The smell that was coming off of her was revolting. I could feel the vomit trying to climb up my throat. Her lips were dry and stretched thin, blood seeping between the cracks. I knew she wouldn't come out of her own, but I didn't want to leave her in the state she was in. I scooted closer and reached out to her. The excited hiccup sound got louder, and her hands shook, finger flexing. It was then that I could see the blood oozing from between her fingers. "Oh God, Lynn, you're bleeding," I said. Instinctively, I reached out to take out her hand, but before I could even touch her, her hand sprang out towards me. A sharp pain shot through my arm, and I fell back on my ass. My arm burned. I could see the blood dripping onto the carpet. I looked back at her and saw her careening madly, her fingers clutching a large shard of glass. "You all right in there?" Chris asked from behind me. I turned my head slightly and nodded to him, crawling my arm into my chest. When I turned back to face Lynn, I saw her focus had shifted. She wasn't looking at me anymore, and she wasn't smiling anymore either. She was staring past me, her eyes glaring at Chris the way a hungry lion might stare at an antelope. Her mouth was still hanging open, but it was twisted into a snarl. I got onto my feet, began walking backwards on the hall, afraid to make my eyes off her. "Are you bleeding?" Chris asked. The moment the words left his mouth, Lynn started fast scouting under the bed, the glass shard still in her fist. "Chris, run! Go!" I yelled. He must have been too afraid to move, because the second later I felt my back bump into him. He was still standing at the top of the stairs, staring at the horror that was my wife. Lynn had crawled completely out of under the bed, and stood in the bedroom doorway, her face twisted in rage. Her whole body was barely visibly tense. So tense, I couldn't do anything else. Blood ran down her fingers and onto the floor. "Jesus, Lynn," Chris said. You playing hide and seek?" I reached back and pushed him towards the steps. "Move your ass, Chris," I said as quietly but firmly as I could. "Move your ass, Chris." Lynn bobbed her head in fast, sharp motion, began to grin, stretching her mouth open and wider so that her chin seemed to touch her chest. I heard Chris mutter a prayer when he was running down the stairs. I stood at the top of the steps, stuck between the love of a woman who clearly needed serious help and self-preservation. "I only want help," I said, choking back tears. Her eyes focused on me once again as she slowly lifted the glass, holding it out in front of her, and as she started sprinting towards me, grinning with utter excitement. Thankfully, my body took over and I flew down the stairs, skipping 2 or 3 at a time. I made it to the front floor before I felt her leap onto my back, wrapping her arms around my neck, her open mouth next to my ear that I could hear those terrible hiccuping sound getting close. I shook her off, knocking her into the floor. I felt the searing pain in my back as she went, but I tore open the front door and bottled onto my car. Bottled onto my car. Chris was standing in the front yard, talking to the phone with the police. I didn't say a word. I just ran to my car and jumped in. Chris took the hint and followed me. Still on the line was with 911. I watched the rear view mirror. Sure, I'd see her there running after us, but never did. I went straight to the ER and got 11 stitches in my arm and 3 on my back. The police asked a lot of questions and went back to the house to do a research, but of course, Lynn wasn't there. They advised me to stay with a friend or a relative for a while and to file a restraining order as soon as possible, but none of those things would matter. Somehow I just knew. I dropped off Chris at home and went to a motel an hour away. I wanted to put as much distance between me and Lynn as I could. This is where I've been for the last 4 hours. Thought maybe the police would find her. Maybe he'd get the help that she desperately needs. But now, I don't think so. Because 40 minutes I got a text from an unknown number. Just 3 words. I found you. And a picture attached. The picture was dark and grainy, but I instantly knew what it was. There was no mistaking my wife's eye. I started typing out immediately after. I didn't know what to do. I'm alone and scared and can't help, but feeling that I'm watched. God damn! Always feeling watched. Watched. Woo! You guys feel it? You guys feel it? Cause I felt it. Watched? Yeah, I know. That was an insane. That was just insane, though. I have to say, though, cliffhanger, we'll never know. No explanation. That is horror, right? Yo, by the way, I know this is a stretch, but thank you guys for sticking around for these. I'm gonna go get some more water just real quick. Because my tongue is starting to get dry from this. There you go, I'm back. Of course, I like hearing scary stories. Yeah, this one was long, hella long. This one is called, My Wife Has Been Peeking at Me from Around the Corners Behind Furniture, and it's gone from weird to terrifying. Imagine just being watched, you know? Always being watched. That just doesn't sit right by me, you know? I have a real life horror story that I can tell a little bit after, which, you know, kind of haunts me. And that's a real story, I have to say. And it was, God, I lived in another country back then, and I used to go, how do you call it? Lost places hunting. So I would go and hunt lost places. So I would go to like deserted factories and deserted buildings. And, you know, we would just go there and graffiti and do our punk shit, you know, fires and parties. But I'd have to go scout first. And we like to do it with a couple of friends too. So we went and done that a couple of times. I mean, it was the usual. And, you know, of course, when it was dark, it was better. So, you know, securities and authorities couldn't bust us. Because, of course, sometimes they would just scout around because they know. They know us. They almost busted us a couple of times. They know us, obviously. And yeah, Urban Abandoned Explorer. Yeah, I loved it so goddamn much. I feel like in the country I am right now, it's a little bit more difficult to get to these. But when I used to live in the other country, in Germany, it was better because, you know, you can just get a train and get everywhere. And here it's, you know, one hour drive to see like an abandoned building that's not that much worth it. I don't know. It's not the same. Germany has a longer history of being alive than Canada. I mean, Canada's like not even 600 years old. Like, come on. And yeah, so we went up there. And, you know, nothing bad. And it was just another day and another night. And so we came in, we partied. Of course, we had like our music boxes and we were ready to go. But then we decided to turn it off because it would be a spooky, way way spookier experience. How many places have you lived in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 places. I've been around. No more Farak. I flexed my points. Hey, hell yeah, Cha-Cha. Mr. Worldwide, yeah. I mean, Bro Farak is immortal. And then, so where was I? Yeah. So then we were visiting this abandoned paper factory. And that was like our favorite spot because it was huge. It had like 3 buildings connected to each other. And I have to say, there is a video of me, Ariel me, being up there in a music video. There's a music video out there, like some real musicians. We just saw them. Dude, their eyes were so red. They were so high. It was insane. I've never seen men being so high before. Their eyes were so red. And they filmed us. They were like, oh, you guys look badass. Like, can we film you for a video? And we were like, yeah, sure, whatever. And it was that place. So it was kind of known, but also, kind of not known. And so we went in. It was nights. And we went in and we decided to explore the other building. It's so fucking scary how to get up there. You have like to be on the pole that crosses a street. So like if you fuck up, you fall. Like there is a very big fall. Like if you fall, it's like 5 stories. 5 stories of falling. It's insane. I would not be able to do it again. Cheers. And so we go to the other building, which, it's a paper factory. So there's a building for the factory and there's a building for like everything that's like bureaucratic paper stuff, So then we go on there and we're like, oh, it'd be way scarier if we just like turn off the music. So we did. Because you know what? Because it's scary. Woo, spooky. And all 3 of us, we have the flashlight of our phones. And we're just walking around and we're seeing so many creepy things. And then we just go in and we explore the first room. Because, it's all about exploring. And then you saw it right here and there. You saw it. There was like a rope, a knot on a rope, and you know what kind of knot I'm talking about. And is that a fake story? No, I'm talking to you about an experience I had, a scary story experience. And then there was a chair and a rope with a knot on it, to send yourself other places. Not of your business. Yeah, no, that was creepy as hell. And then there was like graffitis on the wall saying, I do not want to wake up. I do not want to wake up. I do not want to wake up. Written all over that room. That was creepy as hell. I don't know if somebody put that there or if it was just to creep us out. And then there was more graffitis ahead. There was one that was written, press shift to run. Which was insane. It was absolutely insane. I'd be shitting myself. Oh yeah, we did. But the scary stuff didn't start until we got separated. Because, my friends were kind of slow, so I decided to go on ahead. And this is where I started to freak out. Yeah, you're in a scared place, but you're with friends. What should you be scared about? But then I got separated from my friends, and I don't know where they went, but I went back and they weren't there anymore. And now it's me alone in this fucking abandoned bureaucratic building with unaliving imagery everywhere, with creepy graffitis all over the place, paper on the floor. Every time you walked in there, it just made because there were a lot of papers everywhere. There was some books and some really old records in there, and some walls you could walk through because there was like big enough holes. No, it was insane. And then this is when I heard it. I heard other footsteps. It wasn't me, it wasn't my friends. Because, shoes don't make that kind of noise. I was just out there alone. I was like, fuck, why did I lose them? And it didn't help that I was kind of starting to get lost. I mean, they kind of all look the same. And the thing with this place is that it's so huge. You take a turn and another turn, and like if you don't know where you came from, one thing might look like another because they're just buildings. They're bureaucratic buildings. They're not made to be different. They're made to all look the same. So I'm here in this haunted factory, and the only way to get out is through the roof. I'm on the first floor on my own because I wanted to go in. And I heard some footsteps all around me. My friends aren't there because I would see their lights, their flashlight lights. I'm all alone. And then I start to see shadows in the back, moving shadows. It wasn't a maze. It's just a regular building. The problem is since it was abandoned, there is some places that are blocked off. And there are some other spaces that are just, just open holes in them, And sometimes you gotta crawl into spaces to go to another place. No, it was insane. And I'm starting to see shit. So mind you, I'm already pissing myself because the only reason I went down there was, yes, I wanted to explore more, but I really wanted to pee. And now really wanted to pee more because holy shit, I mean, hey, when you party and you drink a lot of fluids, that's what happened. And I was so goddamn scared. So I ran back. I ran back to where I was. My friends weren't there. And I'm still seeing some fucking shadows. I'm seeing some shadows everywhere. I'm hearing footsteps, but I'm not seeing my friends. So it was it wasn't a long time, but it was the scariest fucking 30 minutes ever. And then eventually I found my way back. And you know where my fucking friends were? They were outside because they thought, no, it's too creepy. We're not getting in again. What? I went in there. So that's my creepy story. And to be honest, I'll never know if other people were there. It's it used to be a pretty known place, a pretty known factory to hang out with. Yeah, no, they were like, fuck it, Sirach, you come back. And I was like, wow, congratulations. Thanks, Reaper. I appreciate the water. No, that was definitely a scary story. There's no scares, like real harm that happened, but it's just me shitting myself. It's just me being so goddamn scared. And they all left. Yeah. Are y'all ready for one last spooky story? A shorter one, way shorter though. Was it funny to look back at? No, it's creepy. I mean, I have action stories, but these are all non-creepy stories. They're like really traumatizing action stories with valuable life lessons attached to it. Because Teen Sirach was an adventurous Sirach, and I always wanted to live my life to the fullest and just get as much experience as I could in the shortest amount of time. So, I was always a night person. Night owl was just discovering places, doing things. Always saying yes to everything, because why not? No, it was definitely a creepy time. There's a lot of other stories I can tell y'all, but I'm gonna keep it for another time. But as I'm telling you this, I can still remember exactly what that building was like. And what you had to do to cross over? Oh my God, that was the creepiest. Dude, the fall was like 4 stories high. You fall, you dead. That was crazy. Just be careful about saying yes to everything. I mean, not everything, but, I was always a be scared and do it anyways kind of gal. Because, sometimes you're scared to do things, and I don't want to, not do things. Say yes, be scared, do it. It's like streaming. Be scared and press the start streaming button. All right. So one last story. I'll just go to the bathroom real quick because, damn, I am chugging like several liters of water at that point. So, I am back. Are y'all ready? And she worries me sometimes. Oh God, I have grown to have a sense of not being immortal. So I'm good. I'm not doing crazy shit anymore. So we've got one last
Story.
Hello, welcome, ready and hello. One last horror story. It's called
Don't Google yourself.
Never.
Google yourself. I'm giving you 10 reasons to why.
This is 10 reasons why not to Google yourself. Number 10 will shock you. Welcome into
Don't Google yourself.
Don't Google yourself. Why? Because you may not like what you find. One day I was bored and decided to search for my own name on Google. I have quite the rare name, so I didn't expect to find many results. Imagine how surprised I was when I came across a website that had my full name in the domain. www.myname.com. You know what's the best website though? www.sirac.car.co. Definitely a spooky website y'all should visit, you know? Shameless plug. When I clicked it, it brought me to a message board. Oh my God, Chris James. Was it this one too? Looked at the profile of the website owner and found out that the person was the same age as me and had the same hobbies and interests. There weren't any posts on the message board, but I was intrigued, so I saved it to my favorite. It was about a month later when I went back to the website. This time it had more content. There were some diary entries, mostly random things like, the weather's nice today, and I'm so bored of work. You know, things of that nature. However, as time went on, I began to notice more and more coincidences. The person lived in the same city as I did. It struck me as rather strange that two people with the exact same rare name would be living in the city at the same time. One day, I went to a baseball game, and when I checked the website that evening, I found that the owner on the other site had gone to the same ball game. At first, I didn't think much of it. After all, tens and thousands of people in the city supported the same baseball team. It began to seem like much more than a simple coincidence. Whenever I checked the website, I would notice little biographical details that seemed too close for comfort. For example, the owner mentioned their pet dog the dog's name was the same as the dog I had when I was a child. The website owner posted a picture of their cat. It was the same model of cat I had been... The website owner posted a picture of their car. It was the same model of car I had been driving when I was in college. They talked about eating at a certain restaurant. It was the same restaurant I had gone to all the time when I was working my previous job. Same model of cat. True, that could be it though. One day when I looked at the message board, people had written messages to the owner saying, "Happy birthday!" That day was my birthday. I decided to write on the message board for the first time, just out of curiosity. I was going to wish the owner a happy birthday and tell them we had the same name. However, when I tried to write something, I realized there was nowhere to type your message. It wasn't a message board at all. It was just a static page. That's odd, I thought to myself. In other words, whoever owned the website was going to a lot of trouble to make it seem as if it was an interactive site, as if there were other people posting on it, when in actual fact, all the content must have been created by the owner. Why on earth would someone do that, I wonder? I decided to send an email to the owner. It read, "Hi there, believe it or not, we both share the same name. Nice to meet you." It was just a friendly email. The next day when I tried to look at the website, I discovered that it was gone. It seemed like it had been deleted. Then, I opened my mailbox. There was one reply. When I looked at it, a chill ran down my spine. It just read, Hope y'all like the horror stories tonight. Hope y'all like all the horror stories. What was the real ending? Yeah, no, that was it. Time to lay low. Exactly. Stories were great. Yeah, I'm just doing a little something because I have to say, I wanted to try this out, reading out horror stories. If you guys like it. You guys think it's neat. Oh, but to be honest, I had a lot go into this. But I think I'm going to be keeping some effects, if you know what I mean. And by that, I mean I'm probably keeping this. I'm keeping this one for sure. Liked it. Yeah, let's go. Thank you guys for tuning in. Now I know it's getting quite late and y'all probably have some Halloween parties. So, I won't let you guys dwell any longer. I've been really appreciative of everything and you guys popping up recently. Just have to say, we're gonna play some more horror games tomorrow. I have Dead by Daylight, which will be with friends. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, let me just give you a rundown of what will be happening. There you go. Now we're at it. There we go. It's spooky, scary schedule day. Exactly. Aha. Let me go there. There you go. So we'll be playing Dead by Daylight with Brobony, Ouija Boo, Hazy Nev, and Willow, the Baphomet. So if you guys know them, then get ready for the hype. And if you guys don't know them, then you should stick around tomorrow because we're going to be back at 7 p.m. and we're going to have a huge Dead by Daylight collab. I have to say, though, I've never played Dead by Daylight before. So it might be a mess, but we're in a room of 5, so it'll give us plenty of time to figure that out. Oh, let's go, Chris. Nico. Appreciate y'all. Let's go. So, yeah. I don't want to keep it longer. I don't want to keep you guys longer because your girl's got some busy bee artist things to do. But I just want to thank you guys for showing up today and being creeped out. Now, as I said, we're playing with Hazy tomorrow, so I guess I should drop y'all by her place. She's doing a 24-hour stream, so don't worry. We'll be back here tomorrow. Even if you're there but Hazy's, you'll be back. I just know it.
I know you'll be back. You're always back. You're always back. I know it. I know it.
So, we're gonna raid our lovely. I tried to say Hazy and lovely at the same time. Didn't go too hard. So we're gonna go out and raid out our dear Hazy. Let's go. What y'all think, baby? So, let's go and give her a big ol' love. Thank you guys for being here today, and I appreciate all the things that you did for me today, and I can't wait to see y'all tomorrow. That's right. We're raiding Hazy Nev, baby. Let's go. All right. We'll take everything that we have. Have a happy Halloween. Don't forget to, brush your teeth after today. I know a lot of people will be eating a lot of candy. Go out at it. And Pyrock isn't very alpha. Of course, Pyrock is alpha. I love y'all. And I have to say, thank you guys. There's a lot that's planned for November, so please stick around. Please stick around for the month. I'm putting out some new things every single week for y'all, baby. And then not only will we have our Super Mario Drunkshine run, we will also have some interviews, some collabs that are being planned, and some continuous games that we've been going. More challenges, and more fun things to do with y'all. I want to ask your opinions on stuff, and get to know you guys a little bit more. So stick around for the rest, and I hope you guys will enjoy what I have in store for y'all, because I do have a lot in store for y'all. All right. But yeah, next time we'll be seeing each other will be tomorrow at 7. And I hope you guys will enjoy this Halloween night by Hazy. She's so sweet and so wonderful. Please. Yeah, also VR chat this weekend. That is true. Tomorrow we're going to have a VR chat party after after. Oh fuck! I forgot the raid message. We'll have a VR chat party after the stream tomorrow. So please stick around. If you're in the Discord, join it. Copy paste the raid message. I love y'all and thank you. Mwah!